Ramana Maharshi's words are deep and direct. My comments are intended to bring his deep words into your experience. Use YouTube's closed captions to read along. Ramana Maharshi emphasizes the importance of self-inquiry, questioning the nature of the self, your sense of identity, in order to discover the Atman. He teaches that by consistently, internally asking the question, who am I, and investigating the nature of the self, you can ultimately come to the realization that the true self is not the body, not the mind, not the emotions, but rather the unchanging and eternal consciousness that is the Atman. In this conversation, the visitor reports that he had a vision of the deity, Sri Krishna, who told him that he should focus on the true nature of the self, Atman, that Atman exists in all beings, and that all beings exist within the self. Ramana Maharshi agrees with this understanding and that it contains the whole truth. And he goes on to say that there is ultimately nothing but the Atman, that the world that we perceive is actually a projection of the mind, and that the mind itself originates from the Atman. Therefore, the Atman is the one and only true being, and everything else is merely an appearance or projection on Atman, like the waves on the ocean. Ramana Maharshi's teachings on the Atman and the nature of reality emphasize the importance of realizing the unity of all existence and the ultimate oneness of the self. He teaches that by turning inward and discovering the true nature of the self through self-inquiry, you can ultimately transcend the illusions of the mind and experience the unchanging and eternal reality of the Atman. He says that the individual Atman and the universal consciousness, Brahman, are one and the same. They are not different. So to know Brahman, know Atman, know yourself. Ramana's teachings are based on the ancient teaching of Advaita Vedanta, which emphasizes the non-dual nature of reality. The true nature of the self is pure consciousness, which is eternal and unchanging. And this consciousness is the same in all beings. What appears as many is in reality only one. In this conversation, the visitor expresses that it's difficult to realize the true nature of the self. Ramana Maharshi responds by saying that there is nothing to realize, since the eternal, pure, aware, and liberated state is already a natural and eternal aspect of the self. It is already who you are. Rather than trying to gain something new, you must simply lose what veils it, your ignorance. Ramana Maharshi also teaches that the world we perceive is not the ultimate reality, but rather a manifestation of our own minds. He said that the mind creates the illusion of separation and duality, which is why we perceive ourselves as separate from others and the world around us. However, by turning inward and investigating the nature of the self through self-inquiry, you can ultimately realize the true nature of reality and experience the oneness of all existence. Through self-inquiry and the realization of non-dual awareness, Ramana Maharshi teaches that individuals can overcome ignorance and experience the natural state of pure awareness and liberation. His teachings continue to inspire spiritual seekers around the world to look within themselves and discover the true nature of the self. These videos help bring Ramana Maharshi's teachings into your direct experience. Subscribe now to help you deepen your understanding and practice to know the self. Just click the subscribe button.